Hi everybody and welcome to today's video. Today we are looking at another ink from Standard Bindery. This is Clear Seas. This is another one from their new line of 6 inks. This is how it comes packaged. It's in a 60ml bottle and yeah, I think it's nice packaging. Nice sort of craft cards. Their packaging across the board for their products is really great. And here is the glass bottle, nice rounded corners, nice sort of wide opening that can allow for, you know, most pens I would imagine, and nice and deep for filling, which makes for a very handy bottle. Nice and sturdy on the desk. Yeah, nice packaging and nicely printed labels as well. Nothing sort of fancy, gets you the information you need. Okay, let's now look at it, what the actual ink looks like. And this is just a standard card stock, just to show you the ink a little bit. You can see some nice shading there and sort of a couple of hits of very faint sheen. Not sure if that's going to come up, but yeah, you get a tiny amount, but not enough to actually say, you know, definitely none in the writing or anything like that. Let's look at it on Rhodia. So here is my review page, if you will. So I had this in a Parker dual fold Centennial here, which is a medium nib, which is a really nice pen, nice sort of decent flow on it, all of those sorts of things. As you can see, the ink does have some sort of, you know, shading that pops up occasionally, and I said here I like that this ink is a green, on the green side of turquoise. It's got quite good flow, and Standard Bindery have done a really great job with this ink range. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lay down a little bit of water on here so we can test the water resistance. I'll show it to you on some other paper, and then we'll do the criteria. So let's put some water down. There we go, nice little splash of water there. So let's now look at it on some other paper. Let's start from the bottom up. So here it is on standard sort of note paper from Spyrex, from a student lecture pad. Looks very dull, but there isn't a whole lot of feathering. Like, it's a little bit. The Parker's not necessarily the wettest pen, but it certainly does let down a decent line. It's just I think the ink just looks a little bit dull on this paper. It's a light shade and a sort of a pastel sort of coloured ink anyway. But yes, sort of a little bit of bleed, but nothing sort of too bad. Now we have it on some standard copy paper. This is 80 GSM paper from Reflex. Once again, the colour is a little muted, perhaps. Not a whole lot of feathering. And on the reverse, we get, you know, a little bit of bleed. But once again, these first two papers are not fountain pen friendly paper. Next thing I have it on here is a Tomo River Notepad. This is in the Lockby Pocket Journal, Lockby branded 68 GSM Tomo River paper. You can see there's some lovely shading. This is where the ink really, I think, shines more than any other paper. You can see the performance is okay there. Nothing. There's a bit of show through, but that's the paper, not the ink. But yeah, beautiful color, nice shading. Still like very faint hits of sheen, but not enough to actually say that there's sheen on this ink. So let's now do this water test. I'll just mop this up. It's been on there. Oh, it's gone everywhere. Been on there a few minutes now, and as you can see, it really does sort of mop up most of that ink. I think you're left with actually very little detail there. So I think in these criteria, we're going to have to say water resistance is on the low side. But let's sort of, well, firstly, actually, what you can see here is exactly what we get from the chromatography. So, like, there's very little of the original line left. We get, like, the blues and the greens sort of popping up. And, yeah, I think that fairly well matches what this ink actually does and how it performs. So, let's talk about these criteria now. So, we have sheen. No, not really. Shimmer, no. Shading, I'd say fair. Like, I suppose it's gentle. But then when we get to the actual performance of the ink, say bleed is good, feather is good, wetness and flow is good, concentration is good. I'm going to change that to good slash like okay. I think like it's not a highly concentrated ink. Like it is quite a light shade. You can see like when it moves around, not a lot is sort of spread around. It's just sort of, yeah, it's not a hugely concentrated ink, which also is not a bad thing. Dry time is fair to slow at 45 seconds on Rhodia. So yeah, we've got water resistance is low, cleaning is good, no issues whatsoever there at all. Value is $21.95. So that's not bad value. It's US or Australian, depending on where you get the ink. So like if you buy it from Standard Bindery, it's $21 Australian. If you buy it from Venice, it's 21 US. And there's 60 mils in these nice bottles. So I think that's fairly good. A couple of comparisons here if you're interested. Like that's Waterman Inspired Blue or Turquoise, Clear Seas, and then Diamine Soft Mint. It's quite similar to Soft Mint. I don't think it's quite as saturated as Soft Mint, but showing it alongside the Waterman Blue, you just see how green that turquoise really is. Okay, so let's do a score. So for this score, based on the performance, now these are like flavors, if you will. Like if you want sheen or shimmer shading, they're not about the performance of the ink, they're just factors in the ink. These are the performance factors, and most of them you see are sort of on the good side or fair. So I'm going to give this ink a 3 out of 5. You can see how the ink writes as well. Like if I just do a little writing sample here, this is Clear Seas. You can see there that like it goes on a little lighter and then sort of dries into that sort of darker greeny turquoise color. So my personal score is 4.4 or 4 out of 5. I think it's a lovely performer. It's a nice color and it's an Australian brand, which I am a big supporter of. So this was Standard Bindery Clear Seas. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here or drop me an email. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, get in touch, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your inks, enjoy your writing, stay home and stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.